Hello everyone, today is the 26th day of the 30 days of gratitude and thankfulness, and it's titled, Don't Do What Others Do. Chapter 26, verse 4 and 5. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. According to the NKJ Study Bible, it states that these two verses are contradictory to each other, but that is not the intention, but there's a reason as of why. The phrase, according to his folly, appears to be a play on words with two different meanings. One means to avoid the temptation to stoop to the person's level by not modeling their behaviors, lest you be like him, meaning the same foolish personality. On the other hand, it also means to avoid the temptation of ignoring him altogether or respond in the very same way, or else he will become wise in his own eyes. This means that his behavior will become worse. You can find this in page 1069. This message, contradiction, is to teach on the lessons of what not to do and what to do when handling difficult people. In chapter 25, we learned the importance of communicating with difficult people in a more positive, calm, and conscious manner. This verse suggests doing the same, however, using clearer discernment when confronting or addressing a difficult person by exercising caution as to not stoop to their level, as this will result in the person becoming more agitated. Now, ignoring them altogether can also have a negative result, thus increasing the chance of the person becoming more aggressive. How can a believer manage this type of situation? First, by not reacting to the situation by focusing on the aggressiveness, but by remaining calm. And second, be alert not to be caught up in the drama of the actual situation. Third, not to take anything the difficult person says or does personally, as they are being used by the enemy. Fourth, be compassionate and practice kindness. Suggestion is to remain calm throughout. The primary focus is to be non-reactive to the drama, but responsive to the person. In James chapter 1, verse 19 and 20 states, Know this, my beloved brothers. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. The next word is titled, If it's not about you, exit. In verse 17 states, He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel, not his own, is like one who takes a dog by the ears. This verse has a deep meaning, and the analogy of taking a dog by the ears refers to the fact that no dogs enjoy being dragged by the ears, and some will react by biting back. What does meddling mean and consist of? In the Vine's Expository Dictionary refers to the word meddling as being a busybody, and the Greek word for it is periorgazomae, meaning to be working or roundabout instead of one's own business, signify takes more pains than enough about a thing, bustling about, all those people's matter. Therefore, this means that anyone who gets involved in a quarrel, not your own, is bound to receive backlash from the person. It can also be interpreted as an invasion of privacy if it's a couple. Sometimes this may place the person in a difficult or dangerous position, as one of the parties involved in a quarrel may be either violent or dangerous, thus risking our lives. If it's not something that God has instructed us to intervene, then we must be very careful that we do not fall into the trap of the enemy that can create a difficult situation for us. If the quarrel is something that has turned aggressive, the best thing to do is to report to the proper authorities. God wants us to be alert and use discernment to make a safe choice. This verse can also be applied to not only in real-time life quarrel, but also to the social media conflicts that often turns us in a frenzy. Some argument does not need a validation or response and do not require our 2 cents intervention. God is calling us to be wise. After all, people will do and say whatever they want. Whatever negative remarks, comment, or hate comes out of their mouth reflects on who they are as a person. And like the Proverbs verse state, they are busybody causing ruckus without validation. We all sometimes want to help by defending others, where they are matter that we must leave on its own to be resolved and not require our interventions. The next word, adding fire to a fire that has ceased. Another note, verse 21 to 21st also goes in hand with the prior verse. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contention meant to kindle strife. It applied to a contentious woman as well. This verse can be related to the following description below. We know that fire does not burn without fuel, right? Thus, a quarrel, fight, or disagreement also will not burn if there is no strife or chaos added to it. I'm pretty sure that we all have experienced or seen at one point or another what I'm going to refer to as a Tasmanian devil. And for two reasons. One, they're like a wildfire domino effect that comes like a wild tornado, causing chaos, strife, and dissension. This is not directed to anyone. This is just an example that I'm using, thus leaving major aftermath of damage due to the storm they have caused. The reason I use the analogy of the Tasmanian devil is because they're well known for devouring everything in their sight. They have ravenous appetite so big that they eat boulders, shrubs, trees, and hills. They whirled around like a cyclone, ravaging everything. In the same way is a person who adds fire or wood to situations just to create the chaos which they feed themselves. You see, this type of individuals crave creating chaos just like an addiction. Every situation they create is a new feed of high for them to feed their own ego.